Okay, in this video we are looking at the second type of iteration, and this method is called a preconditional loop. So thinking about what we did in the first type of iteration, we used a fixed loop, it's also known as a for loop, where it would change index from 0 to 9. So it will always run 10 times. Whenever this fixed loop is run, it will always run 10 times. But in this new type of iteration, this preconditional loop, the difference between a fixed loop and a preconditional loop is the fact that the preconditional loop might run many times, or it could run 0 times. The number of times it runs in a preconditional loop depends entirely on the test or the condition that you perform before the loop starts. So let's look at the pseudocode that's involved in a preconditional loop. Well, first of all, we need to have a variable, and this variable needs to be initialized to 0 or 1, and then this is the part where the precondition is tested. So while index is not equal to 9, or less than or equal to 9, that's precondition, we're going to output the index, and then index is changed or incremented so that index was previously 0 and then it's 1, and end while puts it back to the top. Second time index is 1, it's still less than or equal to 9, and so the code that's inside the loop occurs. So it outputs 1, and then index becomes 2, and so on and so on. But if we compare the fixed loop to the preconditional loop, in the fixed loop, in this example, we're looping 10 times, we're getting the number from the user, and we say that if the number that's entered divided by, mod 2, so the remainder of the division by 2 is 0, then we can say it's even. Otherwise, if the number entered is -1, then we say stop. And then we end the if, and then we end the next. In the second program, we've got the user entering their number first before we loop, and then we say while the number is not -1, so if it's -2 or 4 or anything that's not -1, it will check the number that's entered, divide it by 2, and if the remainder is 0, it will output that it's even. And then the last thing it does inside the loop here is it gets the number again, whereas previously in the fixed loop it was the first thing it did. And then we end the while, and it loops around like that. Once we get out of the while loop, i.e. when the condition is true, so number when the condition is false, so a number is -1, it drops out the loop and says output stop. So let's trace these two and see how they compare. In the fixed loop program, we have 3 columns. We have index, we have number, and we have the output column to display what's happening. If I enter the first number as 4, okay, so index is 0, but I've entered the number 4, then the output is 4 is even. And in the second iteration, if I enter the number 7, that's odd, so nothing happens, there's no output. And if the third time it loops round, if I enter the number -1, then the program says stop. But because we've got a fixed loop, it continues and it asks again, because it'll keep on asking 10 times. So if I put in stop again, -1 again, it'll say stop again, and so on until index is or has completed the iteration number 9. With the preconditional loop, we've used the same numbers. Inputting number 4 initially will output 4 is even. And then it'll ask us for another number. We type in the number 7. 7 is not -1, but it's not even, so there's no output. It asks us for a third number. We put in -1. the loop ends, and then we output the word stop. And at this point, the program finishes execution, whereas program for the fixed loop only finishes execution after the 10th iteration, where index is number 9. So it's useful. So it's useful in ensuring that your loop does not waste iterations or processes by repeatedly asking the user for the same information.